Thursday is World Backup Day, and the big question here is, are you ready? John Burton from NPI Technology Management is here to help us make sure that our data is properly saved just in case. I hear the nightmare stories all the time. John, thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome.
And I might just start right off the bat. Why is backing up data important? Backing
up data is your last protection against loss of data, and a lot of people don't realize, whether it's your family photos or your business databases, that's the thing that's unique that you want to protect.
Well, let's start with businesses. A lot of small businesses, especially all across Vermont. How often should somebody in a small business environment be backing up their stuff?
We consult with businesses to determine that, because it does vary on how fast your data changes and how much data you have. At the minimum, once a day, you should have a good solid backup of all your data. But many businesses do it every hour.
I'm laughing because you say once a day, and I'm thinking that some places are probably doing it once a year or once every 6 months.
Yeah, well, what drives it is doing some calculation. What would be my loss if I lost a whole day's worth of work and I've got 50 people working at my company? That's a lot of money.
So somebody with that 50-person shop, what do they need to be thinking about backing up?
Well, the big thing that's changed in backup is there's so many malware problems. There's ransomware, there's a variety of other attacks that are created every day, such that backup becomes very, very important. More than just the random fire or flood. Now we're talking about the reality that it's likely you're going to have to use it, and it better be accurate. So people are backing up more frequently, and they're verifying their backup and make sure they can quickly recover.
So I'm aging myself here, John. I hate to do it, but I remember back in school when we were backing up things, it was on a floppy disk or a CD. What are businesses thinking about when it comes to backing
the latest trend is to back up directly to the cloud. And the reason you want to do that is to get people out of the equation. As well intended as we all are, we sometimes have days we forget to do things, we don't do them accurately. And if you can get people out of the loop, it happens consistently and regularly, and you can just kind of monitor it. But if you're not doing that kind of backup to the cloud, and you always want to encrypt it, of course, so that it's secure, the step back to that would be to backing up to hard drives. And a lot of our customers have what's called a hard drive appliance, which is this great big series of hard drives that you can do your first backup to that's convenient.
Alrighty, so take us from the business environment to somebody who's at home, may have that personal computer in the home office or the kitchen. What does that family need to be thinking about?
It's pretty much a parallel world there. You can subscribe to a service, and it will back up your data to the cloud. There are several of those out there, and they work quite reliably. Or you could buy a small drive. You want to make sure it's portable, because the biggest intent, if you're going to back it up to a drive, is to get it out of the building in the event of a fire or something, flood or something like that. So it's got to be a portable device that you could back it up to. Usually they come with some software, or you can buy supplemental software that gives you a variety of options on how you do that backup.
A lot of times it's the kids in the home who are on the gadgets, and the moms and dads trying to keep up. Does that present unique challenges when maybe different members of the family might be using different devices on the same system? Absolutely.
You want to make sure that you're looking at all the key places that have valuable data for you and make sure you're capturing those. And generally these things are done off hours, so you would schedule it. There's a scheduler in there so that it would occur in the middle of the night when nobody's using it.
We talk about businesses doing it every day or almost every hour. For somebody at home, a mom and a dad with a couple of kids, how often are we thinking about doing it in that environment?
I would say more often in the home environment, it's weekly, maybe even monthly. A lot of it depends on the rate of change. If you're doing a lot of photos and they're precious, back them up often. If it's something that you only do rarely, then once a month might be adequate.
Alrighty, and talk to, my parents hate when I do this, but Ted and Jane McGilvery, the average, maybe older couple at home who have the devices but have no idea why any of this is important or where to get started. What do you say to them?
I would say to contract with one of the web services. They'll just very easily install an agent on your machine and do kind of the standard, and it's kind of invisible to you. But the only time you'd have to get involved from a technical standpoint is when it's time to recover, and they'll assist you with that kind of thing. But the important thing is, if you have many of the kinds of malware infections that are going on today, almost the only possible way of getting your data back is to have a good backup.
What do you say to folks who are completely overwhelmed? They see these warnings all the time. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it is hard to keep up, and there's a lot of fear out there. It may or may not hit you. I would just say steady as it goes, make those backups, and use reasonable precautions. If something smells like it's probably a problem, don't get involved. The IRS will never call you. The IRS will never email you. Obviously, use good judgment.
Alrighty, if it smells like a problem, don't get involved, John. I appreciate you walking us through all this, and please come on back.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Well, stick around.